I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just said? Whoa.
This is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay. The part with Jay. I go, oh, shoot. Like,
Right. To us, right?
that had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brush.
Oh,
like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
That's why I don't be going to them puppy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you're into that, I'm fine with it. See if so. I'm just saying this ain't my kind of party. I like it. Just uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. Like that is good.
The reason why their groups are so close is because all of them have a certain type of STD. I think they all got the alphabet. Now, bear with me, guys, because I'm not even trying to cap. I looked at it like this. You know they're not using condoms, right? So if you're in a party not using condoms, it ain't like you could catch something twice, right? You know, so if you already got something, ain't like you can catch it again. So I believe, one of my theories is that these people at these Diddy parties were so close because they all had STDs.
I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the parties. Yeah. So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participate. So,
was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
What if the jokes weren't jokes? What if the trolling, the memes, the constant side comments were actually warnings hiding in plain sight? For nearly 2 decades, 50 Cent has taken shots at Diddy publicly, laughing, smirking, turning serious accusations into punchlines. But now, with lawsuits, federal investigations, and a documentary in the works, people are asking a different question. Was he clowning? Or was he signaling something bigger? From the very beginning, 50 Cent built his image on one thing: survival. Before the fame, before the money, before the executive producer credits, he survived being Sh00T 9 times. That story became more than legend, it became armor. When someone survives that, fear doesn't move the same way. And that independence would later matter more than anyone realized. Because in an industry where alliances are currency, 50 moved like he didn't owe anybody anything. As his mainstream rise exploded in the early 2000s, New York rap had layers of politics behind the scenes. Business deals overlapped. Labels competed. Power circles formed quietly. And somewhere in that mix, tension between 50 and Diddy started surfacing. Not explosive. Not headline-grabbing at first. Just comments. Little jabs. Subtle skepticism. Here's the part people forget. 50 questioned Diddy long before the recent legal storm ever made headlines. At a time when most celebrities praised him publicly, 50 kept a distance. That distance now feels louder.
than you, living after being shot 9 times.
I don't know what the criteria are for street credibility. Or
That's
if
it.
If there's something that creates more merit for you. I looked at that experience as something that was unfortunate that I had to.
I forget, why did the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
He was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it.
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
That's my past.
It was a drug thing,
No,
like a
just
business thing.
Karma.
Karma.
Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, he was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
What are you talking about?
The fact that somebody put out a hit on him because he was going to f somebody up? What kind of shit is that? That's crazy.
But what is this all over?
I don't know.
It's difficult to explain, Robin, because when you're not actually in the environment or involved in the
Just
You can explain it to me.
Explain it. We'll see if we can follow it.
Nah, man, it's just,
What happened? What had you?
it's so tough.
You were pissed off at someone and you were going after them. What were you pissed off about?
Nah, we was just having differences.
Oh, like over what? A woman?
Nah,
No
just
way.
going back and forth. Like a guy got robbed in the actual neighborhood.
And he accused you of robbing.
Nah, he just seen me communicating with someone who actually
robbed him.
And he misinterpreted the conversation because he seen me laughing and us talking, but he didn't know I grew up with the guy.
You're talking to a guy who you don't even know up this other guy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they think you're in cahoots with this guy.
Yeah, because you see you laughing and talking, they figure you laughing and talking about them.
Pain-wise, how bad is it to get shot in the face? Like, I mean...
Probably... I don't know how to describe that outside of...
Is it a 10 on the pain scale?
It's not really like... Because it's not as painful as having to visit the dentist repeatedly for root canal.
Really? Do you think you're dead at that point when you take 9 bullets? Do you go, oh, this is it, I'm checking out?
Well, it's a life-threatening situation. It's just not... I've seen people going to the hospital under circumstances that were way less intense and not come out.
Yeah, it's a miracle you live. Did you think you were like Jesus had saved you or something? Like, did you have a religious?
Where were all these bullets?
Well, yeah, you have those moments where you get a little closer connection to your higher power because you kind of don't have an answer.
But where were all these bullets? Because if you're shot 9 times and you live, it probably didn't hit anything important.
Meanwhile, how lame is this guy who shot you?
Everything's important, Robin. Everything's important.
But 50, how lame is this guy?
You in one of your unimportant areas, Robin.
Yeah, right. What's an unimportant area? You're right.
What the?
Oh, yeah, he shot you in unimportant areas. Do you
talking medically?
But it's amazing your face isn't scarred from getting shot in the face, right?
I got the little dimple.
Oh, is that?
But things got darker when party rumors began circulating. For years, 50 openly said he never attended Diddy's private gatherings. He repeated it, emphasized it, almost like he wanted it documented. According to his own interviews, he claimed certain invitations felt strange, including a story about being offered to go shopping, which he framed as uncomfortable. None of those comments were proof of wrongdoing. They were anecdotes. But now, with civil lawsuits alleging serious misconduct, people are replaying those old clips differently.
And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys. What you mean? The laws are the way they are because
Because of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Oh. Why are we looking at me, bro? I just go to church. I just go to church, right? I have nothing to do with this. I have an alibi.
That's why the laws allow you to go that far back.
Turn away from you right here. I'm just a Catholic kid. Go on. You've been diddled, dude. No. What's the body of Christ taste like? It's sacrilegious. You can't do that.
He's like, yo, drink my blood.
Yo. So it is crazy when after 20 years they come out. That is foul.
But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades.
Yeah, because we had our own little thing.
But you were the only, everybody else is scared.
Huh?
But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just asking.
I think that they're scared.
But if they're scared, then that's what I'm saying.
Insinuating Jay-Z a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you've been saying people gonna come for him a little bit.
No, I thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist.
So he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me, it's them.
It's them. And then when M says she's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
let's go.
Yeah.
You know, what's your and Jay's issue?
It's just competitive stuff.
It's really just competitive.
This is what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
Oh,
okay.
So that's the behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music, but there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side, and it's not like you're gonna go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water.
This deal, and you go, he said that to you, like.
Wow.
Like they'll speak to your temperament. Like say, you know, if 50's a little crazy, he'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kanye.
So they're he's basically trying to scare people out of doing deal.
And then came the lawsuits. Multiple civil cases were filed containing allegations of abuse, coercion, and S**XTR at Ficking. Federal investigations were reported. Raids were confirmed by major outlets. It's critical to say this clearly. Allegations are not convictions. At the time of reporting, many claims remain disputed and unproven in court. But perception shifts fast. And that's when the silence got loud. Industry figures who once posted photos and party videos suddenly had nothing to say.
Now let's get to a few of this morning's other big headlines.
Starting with a bombshell announcement amid the mounting lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, Houston rapper 50 Cent announced yesterday that he's the executive producer of a docu-series about the assault and allegations against Combs. The series will also discuss trafficking and racketeering charges Combs is facing. The series is expected to make a premiere on Netflix, but a date has not yet been set.
So you have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated. So,
was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s, and PPD said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docu-series. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment that really call out people and kind of have that authority in that to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood. And
I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way according to them. And look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt anything.
Let me ask you this. Do you think she knew what he was doing? I believe she knew he was doing the freak-offs. But do I believe she knew he was allocating different monies to different places and which way it was going, which offshore accounts, which Swiss banks accounts and all this shit was going in? Nah. I think she just was enjoying the fruits of the labor.
But why you believe she knew about the freakos?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IV. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting the IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that.
That's from the Diddy freak off party. And I'm going to say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her you knowing her personally. Is she the kind of person that, will be a part of a freak off thing?
I think that she liked to party, and she party with young people. She's always been like that.
But to get back to this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he also alleges that, Diddy, he will grope his genitals and he will grope his anus.
My man, I didn't understand that one right now because his anus is your asshole. His genitals is his nut. So I guess he had to be naked when Puff was doing that. Where was he at? What was he doing? Because he said that they never had. So if you read it in the thing, they never had. He made claims that they never had. But how would he grope your anus? Your asshole? How would he play with your genitals?
Yeah, it don't make sense. I mean,
it don't make sense. How you wake up butt the F naked with two other men in the bed with Diddy and nothing happened? I think he was just trying to save face, man.
But do you think there's a possibility that he meant that, Diddy will grope his, butt, instead of anus? I mean, cause I'm trying to figure out how does that work? Somebody groping your anus.
You gonna say your butt. The lawyer would say, what do you mean? He would say, my butt cheeks. There's a such thing called butt cheeks. Your two cheeks. He said anus. The anus is the asshole. How did he get that far? Lil Rod, you gotta say no to Diddy something. No, that ain't funny, man. But you gotta say no.
So from you reading the lawsuit, right, you feel like he had relations with Diddy?
When me being a former investigator, I think Lil Rod was trying to save face on certain things, that he had somewhat of a relationship or he was doing some things with Diddy that he didn't want to really come out in that fashion. Because there's no way that he gonna wake up and his anus is hurting and his genitals is all over the place and he's in the bed after being drunk or drugged and saying nothing happened. And you think that Diddy gonna be in the bed with 3 other men and nothing happened? It doesn't sound logical. If we're reading and believing what he said in those papers. If you woke up in bed and you was drunk or intoxicated on ecstasy, on whatever drugs that they put in there, roofied you or whatever, and you not feeling right, something is wrong. Wouldn't you say? Something is wrong. He didn't say, we woke up with all my clothes. He said, we woke up butt the F naked.
That's also when 50 made a strategic move. News broke that he was developing a documentary project reportedly tied to Netflix, centered around the allegations and the unfolding legal drama. Timing matters. Some saw it as opportunistic. Others saw it as calculated accountability. Either way, it reframed the rivalry. This wasn't just rap beef anymore. It was content, investigation, narrative control. Here's where it gets messy. Podcast discussions and online commentators began speculating about what really happened at certain exclusive gatherings. Some used phrases like freak-offs, referencing allegations mentioned in lawsuits. Again, those claims remain contested in court. But the public conversation exploded. And 50 leaned into it, continuing to post cryptic messages that many interpreted as insider knowledge. He never directly accused beyond what was already reported, but the tone changed. Less playful, more pointed.
Violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that a temporary feeling of relief.
Meanwhile, courtroom footage surfaced of alleged victims describing trauma and relief. Those statements were emotional, raw, and powerful. They don't determine guilt on their own, but they shift public empathy. And when that happened, old interviews of 50 resurfaced again. The clips where he said he stayed away. The clips where he laughed off invitations. Suddenly the internet labeled it foresight. And then there's the leverage theory. Some commentators speculate that in elite entertainment circles, power isn't just about money, it's about information. Recordings. Favors. Secrets. There is no verified proof presented publicly confirming such systems exist in this case. But the speculation persists. And speculation thrives in silence. That's the environment where fear grows. So people ask, is that why others stayed quiet? Or is that just conspiracy layered onto chaos?
Thing was turning straight men gay. That was his thing. Where's Hype? What's his last film project?
Belly?
Yeah, DMX was a star in that.
Facts. Facts. Jab, my question to you is, and again, we're just talking the psychology of a man.
What if the entertainment industry is nothing but a cover for a worldwide ring?
You mentioned who's on tapes and who got tapes out.
Yeah.
The purpose of having a recorded freak off.
Yeah.
What does that do for the male? What does that do for the female? Like, some females are cool with it. What is the thought behind that as far as, let's record this session and either rewatch, keep it for sale? Is it evidence? Is it just, like, what is the mentality behind having
if you can
the
own
visual memory?
Their vulnerability, if you can own that, you have the ability to control and manipulate that person. See, guys start off by saying, "Ooh, man, I don't want to watch porn. I just want to watch us." See, that's the line.
That's the line.
Wouldn't you rather me be watching us than watching a bunch of other? See, the finesse, that fluff. Do you really want me watching anybody else but you? I could look at you all day. Vanity. See? Make her feel special. Make her feel like she's the only, the object. Meanwhile, this is sitting here thinking, so her daddy works at Sony and I need such and such's contract ended.
Does it also work this way for men?
Absolutely. And it's worse for the men. Women are used to being the victims of, not men. No man walks in thinking that another man is looking at him like a lollipop. Not a straight man. You are only hip to the that you hip to. You know what I mean? which is why you hear so many people say they went to Diddy parties and they felt like something was off and decided to leave, or they got invited to another room and they decided to go because they felt like it wasn't right, or whatever the case may be. These was literally walking in there not thinking. Seriously, like, but the thing is, they were still willing to take the chance to go because everybody's been hearing these.
What makes 50 different, at least in his own framing, is that he doesn't depend on those circles. He built television empires, production deals, business ventures. He often presents himself as financially insulated from industry politics. He's even suggested, though not independently confirmed, that he supported certain legal efforts behind the scenes. Those claims remain unverified. But the perception of independence strengthens his voice. And that independence would later matter even more. Because now, the feud isn't personal, it's historical. If the documentary moves forward as reported, it won't just revisit allegations. It will revisit decades of interviews, comments, and warnings. It will ask whether laughter was camouflage, whether trolling was testimony disguised as entertainment. But here's what makes this complicated. Rivalries can distort motives. Long-standing beef can color interpretation. It's possible 50 simply disliked Diddy and capitalized on controversy. It's also possible he genuinely believed something was wrong long before others spoke up. Both can exist. And that duality keeps this story alive. Now it's no longer jokes. The stakes involve federal investigations, reputations, potential prison time if allegations were ever proven in court, and the legacy of entire careers. Diddy has denied allegations through legal representatives, calling certain claims false and vowing to fight them. That part matters. Due process matters. Allegations are not verdicts. But perception. Perception moves faster than courts. So when 50 posts another cryptic message, when he smiles during interviews and says he told you so without saying it directly, people lean closer. Because maybe this was never about clout. Maybe it was about distance. About survival instinct. The same instinct that kept him alive after 9/00 TS. And that's where this story transforms. It's no longer just two rap icons clashing. It's about power. About silence. About who speaks up before it's safe, and who waits until it's unavoidable. Was 50 trolling for attention? Or was he documenting discomfort in real time? Did he see something others ignored? Or did he simply stay out of rooms that later became controversial? The answers aren't final. The cases are ongoing. The documentary hasn't even fully dropped. But the tone has shifted permanently. Because if the jokes weren't jokes, then what were they? And if he was warning people for 20 years, why didn't anyone listen? This feud is now bigger than music. Bigger than memes. Bigger than industry gossip. And this time, nobody's laughing. So tell me, was it foresight, strategy, or something even deeper hiding between the lines?